Whew.
Any minute.
Yeah.
Is there an
Hey,
intro?
there is absolutely no intro except for
Oh,
us. Yeah.
okay. All right.
Hey everybody, it's Vicky. How you doing tonight? I am here with Dean, as always.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Yeah, and of course tonight our guest is FresherLuke.
Ta-da!
Hey, dun, 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 dun. We are
Ta-da! Ta-da! Sorry.
Tonight we are going to talk about his campaign, Forsaken Gods, over on Indiegogo. The link is in the description.
Yes.
Yes.
Check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. The art is beautiful.
Thank you.
It is simply gorgeous.
We'll have to screen share it and share it with everybody.
We will. We will for sure.
Let's say some things as Vicky is trying to do that right now, DA. How are you doing, DA?
I'm doing good, but more importantly, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just, I'm making Forsaken Gods. I just hit 300 subscribers on YouTube. Woohoo!
Hey!
And it's things are going wonderful. We've just made double what the pledge amount was, so $4,400 something dollars.
Nice.
From $2,200 pledge. So yeah, woohoo! I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, I'm doing great, feeling great.
It's very exciting. I was so happy when it funded. Because I think, I think I had backed it like right after it opened. Like
wow.
one of the first couple of days. I don't remember where I had heard about it. Maybe
it was probably
on the
on the Bunderdome.
On the Bunderdome, probably.
Yeah, they had me on there to talk about it because I was really nice of them. So
yeah. Well, you've been on there a couple of times. It's not like
only a couple though. It's not like I've been there a lot or anything.
Not a lot or anything like that. Yeah. But yeah, and so I took a look at it and I was like, this is really cool. This is really awesome.
And so you backed it like a true American.
Did. Yeah, because I'd actually had money that day.
Sweet. Thank you. I appreciate your patronage.
Yeah, there are too many that I want to back, so I kind of have to sometimes make very difficult choices, but this one was easy.
Yes, you made the right choice.
I did. So why don't you tell us about it?
Sure. Is there anything specific you want to know, or should I just go into the spiel? Or
start with the spiel, and do you have a question, Dean?
What do you got?
I was just wondering where like the idea for Forsaken Gods came from. Like, was there any inspiration that you like drew from?
Lots of inspirations. Who is this? Your boy Pods.
Oh, he comes to every stream I'm in or that I host and says that.
Don't worry, you'll get a visitor from my stalker, and he'll leave nice comments. He'll leave nice comments in the comments section for you. So.
You have
he's not a stalker. That's my best friend Pods.
Oh, right. I actually have like a legit online stalker, but whatever. Anyway, so the idea for this was many things. I grew up in a pretty nerdy household. My brothers read a lot of Dragonlance and stuff like that. And so I was like, bathed in this sort of fantasy kind of nerdy culture, like fantasy and sci-fi. And, as a result, I really liked old legends of like, say, King Arthur and Excalibur and Merlin and all that kind of jazz. And, as I grew up and my tastes changed, I was studying animation and studying stories. I was kind of always thinking about, the nature of stories and where they came from and how they've kind of evolved along with us as humans as we've evolved. So I guess Forsaken Gods was something that kind of like a flame just manifested in my mind. And it was just a small flame at first. And then over time, I would just keep drawing more and more of these characters, primarily of Skull Knight, but I'll draw like other characters next to Skull Knight. And from there, like, my brain would just be like, you know, who are these characters? What are their stories? How do they relate to each other? What's the world they live in? And so it just kind of organically grew from there until one day I was like, I guess, you know, it all kind of started to come together in my head, and I was like, I should make a story about this, or at least, you know, the first part of the story or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that answers your question, but that's sort of how it's really nebulous because it just kind of popped. I won't say it popped into my head, but it slowly started to materialize in my head. Like,
no, that definitely answered my question.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing. So I guess I'll go into the spiel and then we'll come back to that, because it sort of comes into my whole theory and understanding of why we have stories and culture and et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So Forsaken Gods is this fantasy story set in this mythical world called Epic Earth. And in this world, many centuries early, there was this great war between, you know, the gods that ruled this world. And during the war, they created all these, you know, various weapons to try to kill each other. And once the war ended and they all went back to their own domains, they hid all the weapons away in these dungeons and crypts under mountains, and, you know, in places where humans shouldn't be able to get to them, because obviously they didn't want to cause any more trouble after the war was done. And so anyway, fast forward, you know, to the current time frame of which this story, issue 1, takes place, and we focus on a young woman, the main character, Samara Ankma, and she's an archaeologist in this world, and she's trying to, I guess, put together the pieces as to why the war happened, you know, what were its consequences and stuff like that. And so in order to try to figure that out, she goes into these very dungeons that have been sealed away to try to look for clues, whereas most people who try to get in there are trying to find things to get rich, right? But she's trying to find knowledge, because in this world, because of the war, you know, this world is filled with a lot of the vestiges of the war. So things like dragons and monsters, which the gods would create and use to fight in their armies, they were left behind, and they cause a lot of havoc in the current age of the realm, because the gods have left and now it's been left to humans to rule the earth in their stead and just praise the gods. And so Samara, in a way, she's trying to figure out how to solve this problem of these dragons who are like terrorizing, you know, the towns and the people, and trolls that are like stopping traffic because they, you know, they want to claim territory over bridges. And so that's sort of part of the other reason why she's trying to figure out sort of the origins of the war, because she thinks if she can figure that out, then she can hopefully start to solve these other problems as well. And so she's entering this one particular dungeon under Iron Horse Mountain with these 2 goons that she hired. And they're looking for this piece of armor that she's going to take back to her brother's museum to generate money so they can keep the museum open. And the expedition goes sideways. Her whole entire party gets killed. She escapes death, but she gets lost in the dungeon, and so she's trying to find a way out of the dungeon. And in her attempts to try to escape it or find a way out, she inadvertently awakens the other main character of the story, and that is Skull Knight. And as we've already seen before, Skull Knight is this flaming skull encased in this magical piece of armor, and he's over 7 feet tall, and all he can do is scream, and he's duty bound to follow Samara around and do as she commands, because she's the one that awoke him. And so now Samara has to, I guess, readjust to this new life with this giant thing following her around everywhere, and how it impacts her. Because not only has Samara awoken Skull Knight, in awakening Skull Knight, she's also awoken a lot of the older gods who fought in the war, because they see Skull Knight as a threat to their remaining power. And so not only has she got to try and figure out how to live her life with this crazy thing, but now she's got, like, you know, various monsters and monstrosities and other demigods being sent to kill her and Skull Knight to try and, you know, I guess prevent any problems that the gods would foresee happening if Skull Knight is allowed to run loose. and that's sort of the basis of the plot of Forsaken Gods in a nutshell.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Wasn't fun the way that I delivered it.
No, it actually sounds really epic.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to go for an epic look, or an epic kind of feel. I really like that kind of stuff, and folklore and stuff like that is pretty epic stuff when you think about it.
No, definitely, and the artwork is just actually really, really cool in my opinion.
Thank you. Even though it looks like Steven Universe.
Just the one character in like one panel.
It was just the one panel.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like the Headless Horseman.
Yes. You've been listening, haven't you, Vicky?
To what you were just saying, yes.
No, to because I've given other interviews about this book, obviously, when I was trying to sell the campaign. But yeah, the Headless Horseman is one of the main inspirations for Skull Knight. It's based on the old cryptid or myth of the Doulahan.
Very cool. Yeah, no, it's mostly just because I'm old, and that's why it reminded me of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, so am I. So.
Yeah, I have no idea who the Headless Horseman
is. For real?
No, I'm just joking. I totally know. Yeah, totally.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know.
No. I totally do.
I don't know if you're joking now. Are you joking now?
No.
Are you wait? Are you joking
Dean doesn't read, watch TV or movies.
Well, how does he live?
He barely scrapes by.
Ray-Bear wants to know if I like chocolate. Yeah, chocolate's okay.
You can ignore.
Yeah, just ignore.
You can interact or ignore the chat as much as you like. It's cool.
Is that what you do? Do you ignore your chat? Or?
No, not always.
Okay. Just Ray.
Yeah. Just all right. Just her.
Just
no. Ray's actually a good friend.
Oh, all right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
No, you're good. Sorry.
Yeah, we have a very odd chat.
Yep.
So anyway. Dean brought a lot of his weird friends over when we teamed up. So
I wouldn't call us friends, but in fact, please don't do that. It'll ruin my reputation. But anyways, sorry.
You all right, Dean?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone okay? Everyone doing all right?
Yep.
All right.
So, it was 60-something pages. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. So the book is 60 pages, and the way it breaks down is it's 50 pages. Well, actually, it's 64 pages now because we broke a stretch goal.
Woohoo!
But it's 50 pages of art, and I guess 14 pages of behind-the-scenes stuff and special guest art. In the back. Yeah. So 64 pages, my man.
And it's due in December.
Yes. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. You think it's on track?
Well, here's the thing. I deliberately said December to give me a little bit of breathing room, and it's already the end of September, and I still haven't finished inking it. So hopefully I can get it all colored by the end of October, but fingers crossed when I say that, because it's like I've a lot of since the campaign was fulfilled and it ended, like a lot of things have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been working on other stuff, and other things in life have been happening as well. Like not bad things, just like sort of like life things.
Well, 1 or 2 months, give or take, isn't a big deal. Crowdfunding.
As long as your product is good, a couple months. It's not like some people that are like a year or two late. Like that's
yeah.
But
and you update and let everybody know what's going on is always good, and not those updates that say the book is coming it'll be here, and then never tell you like what progress has been made, how far they are from actually finishing, what kind of time limit you're actually looking at. Those are the most frustrating.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I definitely want to keep my backers in the loop. That's why I try to give regular updates like once a week, every Friday.
I've noticed that.
Yes, because I've been, and I guess technically I still am a backer of things, and I've backed one or two projects where they will update you for a little bit and then just ghosting, just nothing but ghosting after a couple of months, and then you just never hear from them again. Like I don't condone that. I don't think that's a good idea. That's like bad for everybody backer wise, because it means that people are less willing to trust you right off the bat, and it makes it harder for new and up and coming people. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
without a doubt.
and especially when you're new to the whole fulfilling a crowd fund thing.
Sure. Yeah.
It's important because you want everybody to come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. This will be my first time fulfilling, so I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, so it is what it is.
So far, you haven't been. I mean, you've been keeping everybody updated.
No, I've made some mistakes, but they've been behind the scenes. So.
Yeah, the campaign's nice and streamlined and simple.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not all confusing when you look at the page.
Well, that was thanks to Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. They helped. I kind of showed it to them. They gave me some notes, so I have to give them a huge thanks for that. They really helped correct it and focus it and make it, not too verbose, because I do tend to get a bit verbose. And it's something about me not being American, like my sentence structure, it confuses people. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, I have no problem like with your sentence structure.
I mean, my written sentence structure. I mean, that's partly because like I've always struggled with like writing and language. Like I make mistakes with my writing all the time, and some of it's typos and some of it's like, is that sort of the word? Like I can't remember what the spelling is for certain words.
I getcha.
Yeah.
I do that all the time and blame my thumbs. I'm just kidding. I just blame my fingers.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what the dictionary is for right there. Now we can carry it around with us instead of having to walk, wait till we get to a bookshelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes things handy. So I'm actually going to go ahead and show the video.
Dun, dun, dun.
From the crowdfund, because
we do have some questions in the chat though. We should get to them.
We will. How desperate are you to let people know whether or not you have been in Jerry's in Australia?
No, the one above it.
Okay, Doodle Squatch. This one. Do the girl and Skull Knight communicate like Han and Chewie?
Haha, very good question there, Doodle Squatch. Actually, no, and that's sort of part of the humor. Skull Knight can't actually talk; he can only scream, so he can't really communicate, and so it's sort of part of the hilarity of miscommunication, where he's like running after Samara, screaming, saying, "Come back." And she's kind of running away from him, going, "Oh my God, it's screaming, it's gonna get me!" Right? So in a way, she's kind of, as the story progresses, she's kind of got to try to interpret his actions and sort of what some of his screams mean, because it's a common thing, because she's, he can't tell her anything. He can sort of only do as she commands. So she's kind of got to figure everything out on her own in that regard.
And she obviously doesn't know this when she first.
Yeah, at first she thinks he's another monster just trying to kill her. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not the case. You'll find out. The book will come out, and you'll be like,
Yeah, I don't want anything given away.
But I can say that they can't really communicate. Okay. I mean, he can understand her, but she can't understand him. It's really deep. There's a lot of deep lore into that.
Very cool. Well, that's sort of kind of very typical of most people, isn't it?
Is it? Most people can't talk. They just scream.
Or they don't understand each other.
Because one of them's just screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I find that's how it goes with me and Dean.
What? Sorry. No, I haven't seen the video yet, but I do gotta say, it's you said it's 64 pages, $22. That's not like bad at all.
Yeah. You should have seen the offers. I think Vicky got the first offer, the early bird offer.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same amount of pages, but for less money. I think it was like $15 or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. It was a very good deal.
That's actually insane.
Well, the thing is like, because despite my resume and my skill and my ability to do the work, I'm relatively unknown. So I've got to compete against guys like John Malin and, you know, the usual guys who raise like six-figure, funds and stuff like that. Like I've got to compete against those guys who I guess everybody loves and enjoys because they put a video out every day complaining about the news. So that was my solution, like to try to get more people to sort of like welcome them in, I guess is a good way to put it. Or give them some incentive to want to back the book, and then hopefully maybe they'll want to pay more for the next book.
Yeah, and there's a fine line, with crowdfunding. Like, do you allow the first one to, either lose a little bit of money or just, barely break you even in the hopes that they come back for the second?
Yeah.
And tell their friends about how great the book was so that you grow your backer base with each, consecutive book.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the theory. It's kind of sad that that's sort of the way it is. I mean, like, I know it seems like a bit like the lottery or the fairy tale where it's like, you do gangbusters on your very first campaign and everybody loves it, but that's just not the case with me. I've got to do what you just said. So yeah, I'm probably not going to make very much money from this, if any, just because, I've had to buy pins and get trading cards made, and then I got to pay for the printing when that finally happens, and yeah, it all adds up.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, look at Tim and Mark. Every one of their campaigns has just grown and grown.
Well, that's because they've been going full steam since they hit the ground. They should have put out multiple books every year. They just haven't stopped. So.
Well, you'll have to do the same.
Well, I needed somebody else to help me do it. I can't do it. It's like Mark and Tim are like a two-man team. I'm like a one-man band. So.
Yeah, just try to get 2 out as soon as you can.
Sure.
I'll
just pull out another book from my butt.
You will.
Yeah. Whoop. There you go. Here's the book.
Well, you must have the story worked out past this one book, right?
Nah.
That wasn't for real.
I love the way you responded to nah.
Right? I mean, I can't imagine it that it's already so fleshed out, just the backstory.
Nah, it's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion. You're just faking it.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
That's how Star Wars was made.
I know. And Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but look how Star Wars ended up going.
Yeah. Look how that worked out for everybody.
Yeah, they should have stopped at 3. But that's just my opinion because I'm old. And I saw the first one in the theater when I was a kid. So
Are we playing this video?
Yes, we are. Yep. Here. I will even full screen it.
Ooh.
Do.
That gets really quiet.
It's your boy, FresherLuke. I'm here to tell you about a new book and IP that I'm looking to get off the ground. The project in question is called Forsaken Gods, a 60-page full.
Oh, hey, it's me.
Follows the adventures of an archaeologist named Samara Unkma and her search in trying to find out what caused the Great War between the gods. which resulted in the world to be filled with magic, dragons, spirits, and monsters, as well as ancient magical artifacts of immense power. Anyway, the story of the book takes place when Samara and her hired help enter a vault that sits under the Great Iron Horse Mountain, as she looks for clues to the war's origin. Once there, her entire team is killed, leaving her to try and escape on her own, only to come face to face with an amazing weapon known only as the Skull Knight. This is issue 1 of the potential multi-issue series exploring Samara and her journey and trying to figure out who or what Skull Knight is, while also being pursued by deadly foes, hell-bent on either capturing or destroying the creature. She is not only a woken Skull Knight, but also the long-sleeping old gods that survived the war who see the Skull Knight as a threat to their remaining power. The book itself will contain 50 pages of story with 10 pages of behind-the-scenes sketches, plus special guest art from some exceptionally talented artists and concept designers. All of it will be in full color. On top of that, also included in the base tier are some stickers and a special custom-made trading card featuring none other than the Skull Knight himself. If this sounds like a project for you, then vote with your dollar and back this campaign on Indiegogo. And also, feel free to spread the word by social media as well. Many thanks. I'm FresherLuke, and thank you for considering Forsaken Gods. I hope to see you at the finish line.
Take all my money. Just take it.
I do. I love the stock photos. That was awesome.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's Ishra. So she's getting D&D and Indiana Jones vibes.
Exactly.
Yes. I kind of do too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're both great things.
They are. And then Doodle Squatch wants to know how long you've been working on the setting for Epic Earth.
5 minutes.
Very an even better answer.
Yes.
No, I imagine it's been a while. It's been percolating in your head for a while.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess 5 minutes is sort of a percolation in a way. But yeah, I mean, I've always kind of wanted to have sort of my own little fantasy sort of world to tell stories in, kind of like Sin City, but with dragons. I know that's reverse engineering it, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I think.
Well, Sin City, it's just like a collection of different stories with different characters, and they live in this particular, I guess, world or this. Yeah. It's just this world where they all kind of populate it, and they kind of cross paths now and then, and yeah. That's my answer.
What's Sin City?
Oh, I love you, Dean.
No, I really do. I really do like the artwork, and that presentation was great.
Thanks.
I actually, oh man, see, I don't even read comics, and there's all these comics that I'm buying now.
Awesome.
And I think yours is definitely actually gonna make it. I'm gonna back it after the stream.
Hooray!
Hey!
Hooray! I got a backer! Hooray!
Everybody should go back it after the stream.
Yeah, it's still in demand. It's probably gonna. I said it was gonna end in demand at the end of this month, but I also said it was gonna end when I finished the book. So whichever one.
But at least through October.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might do that. I would prefer not to, but it is what it is. So
get the backers while it's still there and it's not quite ready to go. You might as well.
Well, the thing was, man, it's like I tried to do previous campaigns with a book that was complete, and they never they never fulfilled. So it's like I kind of, I guess, shot myself in the foot because I didn't finish the book. I just had it kind of like written and thumbed out, thinking, yeah, whatever. Well, if it doesn't get funded, then I didn't waste all this time and with this book that I have finished that I don't have anything to do with. And of course, the fates come in and they say, oh, he didn't finish the book. Let's make sure this thing gets fulfilled now.
That's how things always work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But it is beautiful.
Did you guys have any questions about Forsaken Gods, or if anyone in the chat had more questions? Like, is there anything you want to know about the world, or what?
Yeah. Well, I felt like my questions were answered.
Okay.
You told me your inspiration, the backstory. Like I felt like my questions were answered. What about you, Vicky?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dean asks my questions too, because basically we talk about everything before we come on.
Oh, all right.
But let's see. So I just wanted to show some more of the art.
Yeah.
He's just he's a really cool looking character.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone has made that compliment, and I think when I was first drawing him and posting him on Instagram, everyone really responded positively to his design. So I was motivated to do something with him. So as a result.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's really cute.
Thanks.
She looks sassy.
Well, I mean, that's sort of her. She's got a bit of her own arc that she's going to go through, where she's got to learn to not be sassy, I guess, and be responsible. But,
where things take a serious turn for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, they sort of already did in this book. I guess because she's sort of still new to being an archaeologist, so she's kind of making a lot of rookie mistakes. But yeah, the other thing is, in this world, being an archaeologist is a pretty dangerous profession. Kind of like Indiana Jones, ha ha ha. But there's like, instead of Nazis, there's just monsters everywhere.
So Ray in the chat was wondering, how much of the story have you gotten? Like, is this going to continue on in multiple issues? And I think that was addressed in your video, right?
Yes.
The hope is for multiple issues.
Well, I wanted to make a graphic novel. People don't want to buy a graphic novel off of someone's first campaign. For some odd reason, I guess because they cost a lot of money. So it's a crazy plate spinning thing, because I guess in my head I've sort of got something roughly plotted out. Like, I know where I want to go with it and sort of the things I want to hit. But having that in my head and then actually having it, I found the difference between having it in my head and then putting that down on paper are two very different things. Like, I'll intend to do this one thing and then something. You know that old story of how the story that writes itself. It's sort of like that.
Yeah, I sort of get what you mean. I mean, I don't do comics, but like, it's kind of the same with videos. Like, I'll have an idea and then putting it into practice is not always as easy as I thought.
Yeah, I guess this is a good segue for Bikini Cowboy, right, Vic?
Oh my God, that is the key. I've gotten about almost halfway through it.
Whoa.
I intended to get further along, but it is very fun. I love the really loose art style, which is completely different than what you're showing with Forsaken Gods.
Well, yeah, because they were drawn at two different times in my life. Like, Bikini Cowboy is like 10 years old, dude.
Yeah. Oh, be quiet, testify. No, it's very fun. I got it on Comixology a couple of days ago. Yeah. I didn't pirate it. I actually paid for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
What is Darkspawn saying here? Put that up on the screen. This little jerk. What's this CAS I'm looking at right now? That would be applicable if I'd ever actually, studied at CalArts, which I didn't. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you there, dude. Sorry, as we were all saying, as you were showering me with compliments.
So you go to school in Australia then?
Yes.
Before you came here?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been here? Just
10 years. 10 years, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, 7 of those 10 were pretty great. So, I mean, that's something. So,
why'd you get into comics? What made you want to get into the medium?
Pussy.
Yes.
Yeah, that always works.
Comic
It's a
books
big
get
draw.
the most pussy.
Oh,
so.
Trust me, I've had a lot of pussy because of this campaign.
Man,
I'm just kidding.
Drowning in pussy, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, I was. But in all seriousness, I mean, I've always just liked telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it's comics or animation or anything else, it's more about telling or writing. It's about telling a story. I like the visual medium. Obviously, I'm a very visual kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Comics. I think I was talking to Rotten Glory about this. Comics is like, it's sort of this weird sweet spot between, say, a written book and a movie, I guess, because you can make it yourself if you know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make a lot of really cool stories as a result. But yeah, it's really weird because comics has always been viewed, at least in America, as sort of like the redheaded stepchild of entertainment, and animation is seen as the redheaded stepchild of Hollywood. So I don't know. Maybe I got a thing for redheaded stepchilds. Who knows?
Gingers are always a good thing. Always bet on the ginger because they have no souls.
What is going on in the chat right now?
Typically pretty crazy. But
yeah.
So Luster Dog said that you have some pretty crazy animation industry stories. Do you mind if we take a little a little dive?
I think if you want to do that, that'd be a whole different stream. I'm here to talk about Forsaken Gods.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, and fun stuff. Let's not talk about non-fun stuff. Let's talk about fun stuff.
Fun stuff, like this beautiful book that is in demand on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just looks too freaking cool.
So which backer number are you, Vicky?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up.
Are you before the 10s or?
I don't think I'm that early.
So you're like in the 10s or the 20s?
Somewhere around there, I think. Yeah. I'd have to actually look it up.
Okay. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry. It's okay.
I don't remember all those kind of things.
It's not pivotal to the conversation.
But honestly, I don't remember my backer numbers for this or backer numbers for that. I can't. That's just way too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
But it is number 12.
Okay.
Just looked it up.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
email search, but number 12.
So, were you pleased with what you had, or when the new campaign tiers came out after the 30-day mark, were you like, damn it, I should have waited so I could get this other perk instead?
No, I'm way too poor for that.
Okay.
I am the basic book tier backing bitch because I'm way too poor for anything else.
Damn, dude.
I know.
But that's okay because you have me on my show, so I'll make sure that you get something awesome.
Oh, that's very sweet.
As a thank you. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something. Maybe a drawing on a napkin. Who knows?
I'm always welcoming. I will always welcome a drawing on a napkin.
I gotta go buy the napkins first, and then I gotta go draw on them.
Yeah, Tim named a character after me though, so.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yes.
Yeah, you could always. No, I'm just kidding.
Who are these people in the chat?
Don't.
Vicky
See, you start
lying.
to get distracted by them.
Sorry, it's just the same bizarre thing.
No, I know. I'm saying like
Yeah,
it happens to me.
I know I keep making it a thing, but it's just I tend to want to look at chats just because it's like
same.
I like the feedback, and then you have something to bounce off of. But
Yeah, not our chats. No.
Who is this motherfucker? Who is this bastard?
Which bastard?
You know who I'm talking about.
Any bastard.
I think he's talking about Darkspawn.
No, this is the sequel to Steven Universe where Pearl has a straight relationship and gets married and has a kid.
Traditional value. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, wholesome traditional values, man.
Good Christian morals. No,
Did you see that, Vicky, when I did that?
I'm sorry, I guess I didn't.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it.
What? No, what is that? I want to know.
Oh, I was trolling the Steven Universe fandom because they've been trying to make my life a living hell online.
Really?
And so I did all these drawings of Pearl having this wholesome, straight, like, non-sexual relationship with this, chat of a man who may or may not be me, because I like to fuck with them, right? And they lost their little 12-year-old minds, and they were trying to spam the post and trying to ratio it by just typing in numbers. And who is that? What? Sorry, what? I'm probably too old for you, dude.
No, Ray Bear likes older men. She likes them older.
Does she like them the same age as a dad?
I don't know, Ray. Do you like men the same age as your dad? Just
that was a rhetorical question.
No. I mean, now we got to know.
It might be. She might.
Anyway,
I mean,
moving on. Moving on with the campaign. Let's talk more about Forsaken Gods.
So, well, I'm curious. Like, I want to know.
Yes.
What are your plans for that? For sequels?
Sure. Yeah. So I do have a plan. Sorry, I know I was kind of being a bit.
No, you're good.
I'm trying to inject a little fun into this, and I'm failing badly.
No. We're just awful. It's not you. It's not you. Don't ever blame yourself.
Well, no, I mean, you have me on this thing to talk about my thing, so it's like I want to be the best guest there is and be polite.
You already are.
So the plan, I guess the loose plan is, it sort of starts off. I guess each issue is going to be introducing little bits more about the world that Samara lives in and sort of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Next issue is probably going to be where she meets. Well, it's when one of the demigods shows up. A character that was actually we crowdsourced. Me and my followers we crowdsourced the creation of this character, Derek. He's like this douchebag demigod.
Nice.
And he's the actually I won't say that. But I will say, he's in this world. Obviously, the big gods, like the Zeus types of gods, right? Mm-hmm. The ones that are kind of like these omniscient presences that are in the sky and sort of like you never really see them, but you hear about them and they do these acts. Those ones, they're immaterial. They're in another dimension, but they have had children. Because that's part of the pantheon of sort of like these mythologies, especially in Greek mythology, where Zeus would have relations with human women to give birth to his progeny, and those progeny became, I guess, legends. Like one of the biggest legends was Hercules, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. And so in this world, you got the gods, but then you got the demigods who are like half human and half god, and they sort of walk around the earth performing various feats. And so Derek is one of them, and he's this total, I guess you could say, kind of like this male Lothario, like this immortal Lothario, because he's like, technically, I guess he's at the top of the hierarchy in regards to like there's no human that could defeat him. So he's kind of walking around thinking he's hot shit.
Yeah.
And so because of that, all the floozies are like they're all over him all the time because he's like immortal. Like he never ages, and he's just drinking and screwing during his time on Earth, because there's nothing really going on. The war has long been over, and he was born long after the war had ended. And so anyway, in the future issue, Samara actually she encounters him as she's trying to run away from Skull Knight. And the thing is, him and Samara, they have a bit of history. Like he's known her ever since she was a young kid. And so when he hits on Samara, she's just like, you knew me when I was 12. You realize that, right? He's like, yeah, but you're looking like a fine lady today, right? He's that kind of guy. And because he's never had to take anything seriously because he's like super powerful. And that's the other thing. Like Derek can actually, his only real ability is to control fire. That's I guess you could call it like his special ability. Like all demigods have like high levels of invulnerability, and they have great strength and stamina and stuff like that. But each of them sort of have their own special ability, and so his is fire because he's like, I'm on fire, babies, ladies, I'm on fire, kind of thing. So he's kind of filling into that stereotype, but there's a reason for that.
He's sort of like this weird combo of like Mars and Conan, by the sound of it.
What? Could you elaborate on that a little more?
Well, if you read the books, Conan was a very
Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah.
No, he's nothing like Conan.
Like if you read the original books, he was very loose and funny. And
really?
Yeah.
Man.
He was a real ladies' man.
Well, I knew he was kind of like this brute that went around slayed things and just banged every chick, right?
Yeah, slaying pussy left and right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who is Conan?
Yeah, that's right? Like, who is he really?
Who is Conan?
Conan O'Brien is a talk show host.
Oh, I actually love Conan O'Brien. But
I actually hate him. But
no,
anyway.
Nice.
But anyway, no, I mean, Derek isn't like Conan. He's not like... Conan has a level of, I guess, drive, and you could argue like honor, right? He's got like a warrior's code. Derek is completely bereft of that. And in fact, he's a bit of a coward. So when he comes across Skull Knight, all of a sudden he's had to actually contend with some adversarial conditions because Skull Knight just wipes the floor with him, and it absolutely like breaks his worldview, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. He's actually like scared for the first time in his life. And it's sort of through that next issue that we kind of like explore a little bit more between the relationship between Samara and Skull Knight, and sort of Samara and the rest of the world, and sort of like give more sort of looks into, I guess the meta and the fiction, or the mythology of this realm that I've created. And Ray Bear has a great question.
She was asking if the gods are made up or if you're using existing gods from different lore.
They're all completely made up. This is my world with my own pantheon, so sky's the limit. There's 100 gods. There you go.
Only 100?
Well, I mean, those are the 100 of the upper gods. There's like a couple of 100,000 of the lesser ones. So.
Have you already mapped like most of them all out?
I've mapped
relationships. Family treed them out.
Sort of. I mean, that's sort of getting into sort of plot points, but I have mapped out like 3 of the main ones. I can't really get into a lot of them. One of them is, damn, what can I say? I've mapped out because obviously, they've had kids and their kids have kids. And actually family trees they play a big role in this story as well, with some very interesting revelations.
Cool.
Well, I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Me too.
You sound excited.
I am. No, like I actually.
That actually is his excited voice.
Yeah,
Whoa,
it is.
I'd hate to hear his depressed voice.
I know, right?
This is also it. This is it.
Whoa, just one note. That's crazy. That's awesome.
It's because he's from California. That's how they talk.
Oh, well, I live in California, so
Yeah.
he's absolutely right. Absolutely correct. Yes.
Yeah,
And I'm
you should be
so
used to it.
you should run away from California.
I'm trying to get out.
I got out, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, well, it's just I don't know where I'm going to go to. That's part of the problem because places I want to go to, I hear reports about there being mass riots and stuff like that. So even places where you'd think are like, solid red states, it's like, oh, this particular place, there's all these riots and businesses being burned down. I'm like, damn.
There's always the one city. There's always the one blue city in every
The best
state.
idea is just to go blackface and join BLM. I mean,
I mean, if I go blackface, I'm going to be pitching my own TV series because I know that thing's going to get picked up in a snap.
jeez.
Sorry.
She's laughing, but it's true.
Oh, no, I know. I'm laughing because it's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are some of the struggles that you had to find out about when making this comic book?
Whoa.
Or like, well, as like,
What? That's like,
oh,
what?
as like, what are some of the challenges that you didn't expect when you started that you now realize are kind of?
Not. I mean, there weren't any challenges with the book. I mean, I've made plenty of books before. Vicky's halfway through one of them right now. In regards to the campaign, there were lots of challenges, and I've made a lot of mistakes. I still haven't figured out how to do like mass mailing lists, like on the cheap or for free, because turns out Gmail has a limit of the number of emails you can send out per day. It's like 50 or something. Yeah. Which is like freaking ridiculous. I mean, I sort of understand it so that they're trying to crack down on spam, but I just want to, have an email list and be able to just put them all in and just send them all out like one click, right? That's the whole point of technology.
Yeah, I had no idea about that, but I don't.
Yeah, because I'd done a mailing list sign up, I think a month before Second Gods launched, and I think I got like 100 something emails, and so I was like, hooray! And so my plan was that I was gonna, and this goes into another mistake I made with the campaign. My plan was I was gonna let them know ahead of time, like about the early bird things, but yeah, the whole email thing really tripped me up. So I haven't touched that in ages, and I'm sure all the people who signed up for it are kind of a bit annoyed with me on that regard, which they should be because I'm a crazy boomer. And so the thing that goes into the next part of the mistake was I'd only just now figured out that there's a thing called secret perks. And what I should have done was created a link to a secret perk to then send it out to all the people who signed up to the email list, so that they, would feel like they're part of this special little club. The other mistake I made was, and this is something John Malin has talked about, was the idea of scarcity, right? Like, and I sort of did it, but if I'd played a little bit better, it probably would have worked out a little better for me. I could have played a little smarter, but just this idea of like, a limit on things that you can make. And I sort of did that with the early bird special. Like there was a limit of 100 for that one. Because you would get a pin and you would get a special trading card if you backed it early under that price. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mess because if I think once I fulfill this and I get everything out of the way, then hopefully maybe I can figure out how to use the newsletter kind of mail out service or find something.
Well, it is a learning process, and I don't think anybody expects like somebody's first campaign to be perfect. I think all people really care about is just good product, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, you would think that, but I've seen some campaigns with some let's say not stellar artwork that have made way more money than me, and
well, that's
so.
see, like it's when you're building your like your audience. I mean, at least this is what I would assume, right? Is that those people just want a good story, and when it comes to like people that have like not so great products, I feel like they sell. They're not selling the comic; they're selling like the grift usually.
Yeah, something else entirely. I mean, we're,
it's like
sort of,
comparing apples to oranges at that
Sure.
point.
Yeah, on the fringes of the wannabe monolith of independent comics. It's very, it does get frustrating to watch, even as a backer and somebody who reads them, is these books that are, pretty much borderline trash, that get funded simply because of who's pushing the books. And because it becomes far more about who they are and what they're selling that isn't the actual comic that's actually getting funded.
No, I mean, I absolutely agree with that. And I know Doug has talked about that subject, and it's a subject I'm interested in as well. Because I could tell you a million stories about people that I've met who are selling books, and but the only reason they sell them is because they're at this talk or this book reading, and they've managed to put on a nice little dog and pony show for the audience, and so the audience goes, "Well, that guy's a nice person. I'm going to buy his book." It's like, instead of thinking, "Well, is this book any good? Should I spend my money on this? Am I going to get any value from it?" You know what I mean? So
yeah. I try to back books that I think look like quality books, whether that's, the artwork, hopefully the storytelling, because you never know until it shows up.
Well, that's what
somebody can actually tell a story.
That's what Comicsgate was supposed to be, but they're starting to make the same mistakes that the mainstream comics industry made that led them to this path now, or at least, they're starting to sort of make those mistakes here and there. But
I think they've gone beyond starting. I think they started with making those same mistakes. Honestly,
I mean, sure. I mean, that's getting into the weeds a bit, but
but so I try to just look at the books themselves, and I stay away from a lot of the CG.
Good idea.
Books, just.
Because I thought you were gonna say CG drama.
We do not manage to stay away from the CG drama. Because actually, I will admit that I love watching the drama. Dean and I kind of enjoy talking about the drama.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've more or less stayed out of it because, I want to focus more on making good work, because here's the thing, guys. A bad book lasts forever.
Yeah. And a good book will get you more customers the second time around.
Yes. So I want to, and it's the same with everything. Like when I was working in video games, that was a saying, like a bad game lasts forever. A bad movie lasts forever, right? Like that movie will be there forever and ever, right? It will never go away, and your name will be attached to it. So I want to attach my name to stuff that I can be proud of, that I can say I did my best work there and at that time, and and hopefully it will last through the time and stand the test of time, and reach people maybe in the future, who knows, and they'll read it and get a good laugh out of it. So
yeah, I hope so too. I'm really looking forward to reading your book.
Will you give a review? Will you review it?
I haven't actually started doing any reviews.
Ooh.
I probably should get around to it, and do that, because I have some that have been really good. A lot of some that were really bad, but usually I'll just say something on Twitter, but I should probably start doing actual reviews of the books.
Especially, I mean, it's your channel. I mean, that's up to you.
I've thought about it, and then I sort of run out of time during the week to, you know, actually sit and edit something together and do that. That's why we only stream once a week, and occasionally maybe put out a little short that takes, you know,
well, Vicky,
20 minutes to do.
That's awfully lazy because I've only done 29 videos and I have 300 backers. So what's your excuse?
I'm old and I have a physical job.
All right, that's
and
fair.
all I want to do when I come home is nap.
That's
yeah.
good. That's a good goal.
So
nothing wrong with that.
There isn't. But yeah, I've there's a bunch of stuff I want to start doing. So, and I think reviews have been one of the things I've been thinking about.
I reckon they'd be great. Great reviews.
Maybe. Or they could just completely suck ass and tank my channel even more than some of the live streams we do.
What do you mean? You got 43 more followers than I do.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
I know I was being silly before.
Dean has more than me.
How much does Dean have?
How many do I have? I think 365.
Wait, hold on.
He beats me out by like 20.
Why are we quantifying our worth as humans to a number?
I know.
Because my number is higher, so therefore that's why.
We got a few more questions in there. I don't know if you guys like.
Just make what you want to make and be genuine with it. Be humble about it and always keep a personal connection with the people who are backing you. Don't act like a pretentious douchebag.
No, you.
Man, that's so funny.
And then, how many issues do you see coming out of the series?
500.
Ambitious, bold.
Very bold, Cotton.
Well, I mean, the sequel to Bikini Cowboy is 600 pages. So I don't know what to tell you.
How could it be any less?
Well, because it's still only halfway done.
Exactly. No, how could it be any less?
I don't know.
Like, it's just impossible.
But I didn't expect to have a book about a bunch of women in bikinis roaming around 1800s Wild West become something like the Odyssey.
Yeah, but then comics hit you and you just kept getting pussy after pussy after pussy.
True.
Where does an idea that crazy come from?
That's a really long story. I guess the Cliff Notes. I've got multiple stories with how I came up with that. Yeah, it's the best example of how just the thing writes itself. Because, well, I lived in this city called Brisbane, which was in Queensland, or still is in Queensland. I don't think it's moved.
No, they did. They moved it last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and an hour south of Brisbane is the Gold Coast, which is where all the surfers go, right? That's where Surfers Paradise is, because Queensland is known for its beaches. And, you know, when I was like hanging around the Gold Coast, right, there's these women that walk around in these golden bikinis and these cowboy hats, and they're the Gold Coast meter maids. And so they go around filling up meters for cars that are parked so that people don't get a ticket. And when I saw them, I was like, I guess my little child mind was blown away. I was like, whoa, that's like cool but hot at the same time. But it's at the beach, so it makes sense, you know? And from there, it's it kind of built from there. Like Queensland has a lot of surfing. It like on the coast, it's like very surfer culture.
Mm-hmm.
In Australia, it's all about sport, right? And so surfing is kind of like a sport. And so, you know, having grown up near a beach and, you know, having a beach a big part of my childhood, I wanted to tell a story that was thoroughly Australian, but then I put it in the Wild West. I guess because of the cowboy hats. Because I mean, when you think about America, the founding of America, it's like it's a big part of American history. Like it's part of their cultural identity. And because Americans are known for being pioneers, right? Like a lot of big inventions come from America. Like some of the most notable ones are like the iPhone and Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff. They've all come out of America, right? This idea of the individual is sovereign, and because of that, like this country has created a lot of innovation and been a huge influence on the world, and so I guess in a way it's kind of like I'm kind of like Kojima. I'm setting even though I'm from Japan, I'm setting all my games inside America for some reason, because it's it's such a monolith, and it's such a the Wild West is such a romantic view. It's almost like America's dream time in a strange way, because in Australia, the Aboriginal populace, they always talk about the dream time, and most of the white middle class women who try to decipher it, going, "Oh, what is the dream time? I don't know what it is. It's just the thing. It's just a place." But I actually interpreted the dream time as sort of like the Aborigines version of, say, I don't know, the romantic view of the Wild West, or King Arthur, right? Merlin. It's kind of like this romantic view of history in the past, and I kind of wanted to tap into that with that. That was a very long-winded explanation. I apologize.
With a surfboard in the 1800s.
Yeah,
the symbolic surfboard.
I mean, what can I say? It's like there's a reason for it. So I don't know. I mean, like, I would like to make a crowdfund where I just, crowdfund the whole 600-page graphic novel, and people pay like $100 for that, and that's the base tier. I don't know, but who would pay for that, right? So
one day.
How much would a 600-page book? It'd be like $50 or $60, right, or something.
Oh,
70, $80.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the more backers you get, the lower the price of printing. But yeah, it would probably have to be at about that price point, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got to do this small. I've got to start small, which I hate. Because I mean, look, I'll be honest. Should I go into a tangent? Do we have time, or do we have to wrap it up?
Yeah, go ahead. Tangent away.
I was gonna say, I know it's unprovoked. Unless you guys have a question. Do you have a question? I'll just ask if you have a question.
No, tangent.
I mean, the way that the whole indie comics thing is going now, I guess me personally, I don't like it, just making these floppies. Like, it doesn't make sense to me in my mind, crowdfunding stuff like that. Like, it makes more sense to have a graphic novel crowdfund, because a graphic novel is more of a complete thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've tried to get graphic novels crowdfunded in the past, and they've always fallen flat. So it's like I'm sort of stuck in this thing where I've got to crawl before I can walk, but I know how to walk and run. I don't know. I'm just lamenting.
I imagine that'd probably be pretty frustrating.
Sure, but I mean, I've got a successful campaign, so I should stop complaining. So
that's true. I mean,
which hopefully will lead to another successful campaiign.
Sure.
And on and on.
I'm trying,
and then eventually the graphic novel.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't believe I got to work up to that. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can do it. I can totally do it. It's all there. I know I can do it. But
it's just a matter of having like the audience.
I just I think I was talking to Doug about it, and he was like, "You just don't have enough whales, Luke." It's like, that's what I need. I need a bunch of whales. But even then, if you like, it would have to be nothing but whales if I was going to do a graphic novel. So,
No, but like, I think the most important thing is I think you're totally gonna get there. Like, this artwork is fire. The story sounds cool.
Well, the other thing is like Kelsey. I think he did the shout out for it 2 times on his show.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he was like, "Oh, whoa, this is really cool," and then the second time he kind of just like brought it up for 1 second, then took it down.
Ooh.
I'm not saying anything, but I was just like, if you loved it so much, why are you just like, here it is? All right, on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's sort of how those things kind of go, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really hard. It's like, I appreciate you guys saying that it looks great. Like, I really do appreciate that. Like, I'm not trying to be like dismissive of your compliments. Like, whenever someone says something nice, I'm like, oh, that's great. This is awesome. Like, I love it because, obviously it's the internet. I'm mostly used to people just accusing me of threatening people to kill people. And, assaulting.
I oddly understand that.
I can kind of relate to that in a way.
Yeah. So when people say good things, I'm like, what? Like, like I get a shot of dopamine.
No, I totally get that.
But I guess where I get frustrated is I feel like it's really hard to get seen in this sea of noise that is the internet. I feel like it's like this giant soundproof glass wall, and you're just pounding on the wall trying to get people to turn around and see that you're there, but they can't hear you. So yeah,
I think it just takes time.
How long? I've been doing this for how long?
Yeah.
How much more time is it gonna take? God damn it! I want it now.
Yeah. You have an Instagram, right?
No, I nuked my Instagram.
Yeah. You should restart up the Instagram.
Right now? Are you serious?
Right this second on stream.
No, I mean in this current time we're in.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
That's true. But one that's just for your art and the books is
and for like, partial nudes, tasteful nudes.
Tasteful.
Tasteful
dick pics?
Yeah. You could dress it up.
There's no such.
No, you could put little suits on it.
But wait, would you do it where you no, I'm not gonna get into it. Whatever. But Free Cap says, are there any spider snakes in the book? Yes. There will be.
What's a spider snake?
It's a cross between a spider and a snake, duh.
Oh, okay.
It's a snake with 8 legs.
Okay. I'm just really, really dumb, my bad.
It's cool. Not many people know of the spider snake.
Or is it a spider with no legs?
Huh.
No, that'd be a snake spider.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Yeah.
Huh. Learn something new every fucking day, don't you?
I've actually really enjoyed the stream so far.
What the legs are mechanical? Oh, all right. No, it's not. The legs aren't mechanical. It's like big hairy legs.
Wait, what?
Like Biden?
Ooh.
No, because they're black. Because spiders are black. Right? Spiders are mostly black, right? Black and brown.
I would say mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah, I mean they got a few little like patterns, but on the abdomen, but that's about it. Spider snakes and fire and skull is going to be amazing. Yeah, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic, my dudes. You're going to love this.
It is epic looking.
Back it today. Back it today.
You should go back the book.
Yeah.
I did. Dean's going to. Be one of the cool kids.
Are you in America, Dean?
Yes.
All right. Then you can back it. That's awesome.
Woo! I really am going to back it as soon as the stream's over.
Nice.
He's probably only a couple 100 miles away from you.
Probably, but
we can hang out and be best friends.
Not during this lockdown. Haha.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Tasteful dick pics cool though? No, just
I don't even think there is such a thing.
My town is ignoring.
Just dress it up.
They're ignoring?
What? Yeah, my town and county are ignoring the lockdowns.
Oh yeah, good for them, I say.
Yeah. My governor tried really hard, and most of the counties are like, nah.
Well, wasn't it supposed to burn off during summer?
That's what they said, but
they just kept going.
This shit's they're gonna try to pull this thing all the way through the next flu season.
Oh yeah, they're milking it.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything else? Do we cover everything?
I feel satisfied personally.
Okay, that's good.
The Three Caps is talking about evil radioactive spiders.
What was he talking about?
I'm not sure where
I
that
think he's
is.
talking about spider snakes.
He built the mechanical spider legs for vengeance. What? Where is he going with this? This is crazy.
Who knows? Because we have an insane chat.
They've kind of chilled out now, I guess, because that one chatter left.
Oh, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ray went to go take a nap.
The one that wanted to bang an old man. So.
I think she wanted to bang an old man that resembled her father. That's so weird.
There's nothing wrong
Why
with
would
wanting
she-
to bang an old man.
No, that
yeah,
resembled her father.
There's plenty of
That
porn
was-
of
that
it,
was the-
so it's all right, right?
Yeah, all right. Well, you heard it here first, people. Foist. You heard it here first.
Hey, you heard it here first, okay? Go out and beg for sake goods.
Yes, indeed. And once again, the link is in the description. We've dropped it in the chat a few times.
Woohoo.
Yeah, and I just dropped it again.
Again. FresherLuke's Twitter is in the description as well.
Really?
Go follow him but be nice.
I mean, you can not be nice. I'll just ignore you.
Yeah. And I think that's all I got. How about you guys?
Well, I'm the guest, so I'm just a.
Well, if there's anything else you want to say about your book,
it's great. I've said everything. I feel like I've said everything. It's great. You're getting value for money. It's gonna be cool. We got
seriously, $64, like 64 pages for $22. Fire.
Yeah, and it was so fire that Liam's buddy Micah complained about it. So.
Oh God, they're the worst.
That's how
I'm
you
still
know.
waiting. I'm still waiting for that lawsuit, Liam.
I'm still waiting for the
Liam's a
clown
cool
to come
guy.
after me.
Liam's a cool guy. It's his friend Micah that I hate.
Super cool.
Liam is sicking the crown on us.
Yeah, no, he said so. He said
he's just saying stuff. Don't worry about it.
No, I wasn't. I definitely was not worried.
I'm not worried.
He's a cool guy. Yeah. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, but Micah does suck. I'll agree with you on that.
I'm just being a jerk about it because they had the campaign on the stream, and I talked to Matt Krotz about it, and Liam came on, but they had the campaign on the stream, and Micah was just like, "Man, $15, like what the hell, man, like what the heck?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's how I know that I've done the best kind of business, the kind that makes them freak out."
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's like you got a book? Oh yeah, well I got a book. The art's better and it's cheaper. Suck on that.
Hey.
They don't like it when things are cheaper than the $25 price point they've all set for themselves.
I know they don't, but that's the corner that they painted me in.
That and digital.
Well, the other thing is like they
lose their minds about digital.
Oh, all the time, yeah. But the other thing is like I had tried to get on to a lot of the bigger guys' streams before, and they just outright ignored me. So it's like I've got, if they had been gracious and sort of been like, yeah, sure, come on. And John Malin, to his credit, did that the first time I tried to do Forsaken Gods, but that was before that was the one that failed, and it was because of his advice that I implemented a lot of the better ways of sort of like making the page, and the proof is in the pudding. The campaign's now a success. But the thing is, like, if they had been more welcoming and less apprehensive to have me on, I wouldn't have had to have lowered the price, because I would have been like, yeah, I'll be able to get on this thing and, expose it to a lot more people, to a wider audience, and yeah, it'll be great. So I think it's kind of a bit silly for them to complain that I'm keeping the price point so low, but then, they won't extend an olive branch in any way. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you.
There's
Yeah.
also there
Okay.
is this weird thing that they have going there where the first tier has to be 25, the next tier has to be 50, then 75, then 100.
But that's the thing. There is no rules when it comes to business.
Right.
It's
But
the same as love and war. It's like all is fair.
yeah, it's those are their rules.
Sure, but I
It's sort
mean,
of like these unwritten rules of indie crowdfunding that they all just came up with for no good reason.
sure. I mean, you could say that's absolutely correct. But the thing is like, don't get me wrong. I like those rules. I like those price points. Those are great price points.
They're great price points.
I
but
would love
not-
to have featured them if I had known that, the campaign would have been a success regardless. But so far, my experiences has been pretty bad because part of it is I'm kind of new to it. And the other part is yeah, as we were talking about before, like I can't get that kind of exposure or notoriety that just they have handed to them. I guess partly through their hard work because they worked in the industry for so long. But I've tried to work in the industry, and I've faced the same kind of brick walls. Like people just won't give me a second look. I guess I'm really just venting my frustrations down the stream. I apologize.
No, it's okay. That's all right.
I mean, look, but it's just weird to me. I mean, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful because I've had great guys like Von Klaus and Narwhal. They featured, like Narwhal's been the best. He's featured me on his streams and to promote the campaign. And other guys like Shay the Red, like they've been great people. It's like, I'm being a jerk about it.
I think Von Klaus is one of the only real writers in that whole crowd.
I mean, you would. I'm all right. Yes,
I've been really impressed with Monster MD. He came on Preston's writer stream one night, and we went over it. And I can't wait to get that book because I backed that book.
No, I mean Von's a great guy. Like I love talking to him. Like we talk a lot. I think Monster MD is going to be pretty big because it's still in demand and it's still making him money.
Yeah, but I have a personal pet peeve about that. I think.
Is this sort of your philosophy on sort of keeping things in demand? Or?
I think once you have a book that is extremely late, where you've changed the estimated shipping date and pushed it out further, and the book is getting later and later, I don't think you should be keeping it in demand. Okay. I just think it's a bad look. It makes it look like the only reason that the book is late is so you can keep it in demand. And I know there are people that have creators that have done that. Yeah. And I just think, once you've gotten past the point where you said your book was going to be delivered, I think you should turn in demand off.
Well, I think in Von's case, and let me know what you think about this, Vicky and DA. From what he's told me, like he's like the book's nearly done, but he's going to keep it in demand. So even after it ships, like what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know that that's worth it because of the charges from Indiegogo.
Sure.
You'd have to be. I don't know that you can get enough people to back the book in demand after a certain point to make
but that's really more
to make it worth your money, because
exactly, but that's really more his problem at that point. Like as long as people are getting their books, you can keep it in demand. I mean,
but from the campaign owner's point of view, between the credit card fees, the fees that Indiegogo will charge you to get your money, the percentage that they keep, because I think they charge like a certain amount of money per month after a certain.
No, they charge a certain percentage per bundle of. Well, it's like they give you the money. So I guess sort of in bundles. So in my case, like they gave me all the money that I had raised before the campaign ended. Mm-hmm. And this was after it had ended. So more people were still backing it after it ended when it went in demand. So there was like a couple of $100 there after that. So they give you that big lump sum first off, and then what I think happens is later on, after a certain amount of time, they just, or I guess once it gets over a certain threshold, then they send you that next batch of money, which is,
right.
I guess,
But I also think that at some point, once there's, you know, when you're not, when they're taking their fees, and I think if it's not making up to a certain point, they may even have like a different fee that they charge. But you know, once they're taking those fees and you're selling 2 or 3 books a month through in demand, or even 1 a week, you know, which is probably what you could expect. I can't imagine that they sell that many after a certain point.
True.
I don't think, you know, I know Matt Krotz does that too. I don't know if he still has, but I know he had like Kyrie on in demand long after it shipped. But I don't know that it's really worth that.
Sure.
Because it just, what they take is just not enough to keep you going.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. You know, it's something everybody's got to look at and decide. But I don't think Indiegogo should be you know, your online web portal for store, you know, your online store. You know, you can always have it on Etsy. You know, you can, there are so many other options.
Could you sell a comic book through Etsy?
Lots of people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, George does. Let's see. I know Doug Garrett's been sells through Etsy.
I was thinking of printing up some more copies of Bikini Cowboy and selling it somewhere, but I wasn't sure where.
Yeah, you can sell that on Etsy. All you have to do is market it through your, you know, make sure you market it on your Twitter and get it out there so people know. Link in the bio, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Well, the other thing is, like, does Etsy have the same kind of tracking software that, say, Indiegogo does when it's like itemizing stuff and giving you?
I'm not sure. You'd have to, you know, if you were to hit up George.
Yeah, George would know for sure.
George doesn't talk to me anymore. He's actually got me blocked.
Oh, dang.
Then I'm not sure. You know, if you go into Etsy's terms of use and how they all work, I'm sure you can find that out.
Yep. Okay.
But good, George's not talking to you no more.
I don't know. I mean, I've tried to find out. He won't talk to me. So.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I hold no ill will towards him.
I'd actually, just because I don't want it to seem like it's just a FresherLuke thing, I'd kind of heard a similar story from somebody else.
That George blocked them?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, not just them, like just a bunch of people.
Well, yeah, hey, man, when you're making that Tim Pool money, you ain't got time for us scrubs, right?
That's true.
You need to be rolling up in those high-dollar bills, bro. Like a player.
Super true. But I do want to make a point just to the audience. He would have never made it to Tim Pool without being on, you know, our channel. Like, that's just what we do. It's just, you know, we make stars.
We are star makers.
Like before I had Doug Tenaple on my channel, he had never done anything, and
I'm sure Doug would object to that, but
oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, only a little bit. But Dean knows the truth.
Yeah,
and now you do too.
Finally, now I am free to be who I want to be. I was held back all this time. Now I can spread my wings and fly.
Yeah, all because of some crazy little Palestinian guy in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna make it big though. You know, you came on the channel, and
sure.
There's nothing better for your career than this channel.
Sure, man. Sure thing. Whatever you say.
So, but thanks everybody for stopping by. I think it's time to wrap this up.
Sure.
And once again, link is in the description. Dean's links are all in the description too. He may be off of Twitter, but his fan page isn't.
Yes.
Damn Skippy. So make sure you go and give that a follow. Yeah, if you want. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. And I will be putting FresherLuke's YouTube in the description. I totally forgot about it.
That's fine. I mean,
sorry.
I barely post on that. It's like 29 videos, and I haven't posted there in months. So
yeah, you were doing live streams for a while, aren't you?
I know, but like that was such a brain drain, and it just burnt me out so quickly. Because
yeah, especially when you're working on the book, right? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, now because I'm working on the book, I just don't have the time. But I don't know. There was like issues with the software as well. Like all of a sudden, OBS stopped working, and yeah. Shit, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I'm still going to put the link in the description.
Thanks.
Go back this cool looking book by FresherLuke, Forsaken Gods, over on Indiegogo.
I do own a beanie, 3 caps. I have multiple beanies.
And you know you want more.
No, 2's enough.
I don't own a single one.
Oh, why not? Beanies are hot on women. Yeah.
If you have long hair, when you have short hair, it's
no,
not so
even
great.
with short hair, it still works.
Yeah. I don't like getting hat head.
Hat head? Head hat?
Hat hair is horrible,
Hat
damn
hair.
it. Yeah.
No, I like hat hair. It makes you look. I often try to purposefully have hat hair so I look cooler. I don't know.
Why did you need a beanie in California anyway? Just because it's cool. I got you.
I guess so, yeah. Well, it's hot, but it's cool.
But it looks cool.
It looks cool, but it's really hot. Just get a headache after wearing it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I feel the same way about a ponytail. But you all have a great night, and we will talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye, guys.